Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Off the Script podcast with myself, Jermaine, Joe. He's eating as always, and our guest this week. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm James Hume. I'm a 19-year-old bodybuilder. There you go.
So you are, I think, is he the youngest guest we've had on? Oh no, it might have been Caitlin.
Caitlin was not legal when we had her on. So.
Oh yeah, she's still like 17. Yeah, second youngest guest, still a teen, who's done quite well for himself this season. So I had the pleasure of meeting James for the first time. Is it like a month or so ago now? Yeah, so it's about a month on. When you compete in teens with the BNBF, and then I had the pleasure of seeing you a second time at the Midlands. So yeah, give everyone a rundown of who you are.
Yeah, so I'm James. I'm originally from Australia. Moved here when I was really young, and well, I'm meant to be in Australia at the moment, but with COVID and everything happening, I decided to compete, and I thought, you know what, go for it. I went for a small fed. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, the FMC. I came second at their junior Mr. Universe and Men's Physique. I got a pro card. I'm the youngest pro in that federation ever.
Nice.
I thought, oh, that went well, so I'll go to the BNBF Southern, I think it was, the next week. Came second to Lewis, who yeah, definitely deserved it on the day. He looked amazing. And I thought, yeah, I'm not having any of that. I want that first place. So I went for the Midlands 3 weeks after, in Birmingham. Got the first place trophy. I was over the moon. But yeah, that's pretty much my season. What else do you want to know about me?
So let's go a bit further back, right? So how did you even get into bodybuilding? Because you've been training for like 3 years.
Yeah, it's been 3 years now.
So how did that come about?
Bit of a weird. I mean, we all have our reasons for starting. I've got a few different stories. But I won't bore you with all of it. But basically, I was a really small kid, really small, skinny, really short. I got the piss taken out of me a lot, as anyone does in school, let's be honest. But obviously, I took it a bit to heart and decided, I don't want to be pushed around and picked on. So I started going to the gym. I'm sure it's the same as a lot of bodybuilders. And I was a sportsman back in the day. So I was county hockey and cricket. And I absolutely I've always loved sport. Always been my main thing. I've got loads and loads of achievements in those different sports. And yeah, I got, when I was about 13, 14, so from then to about 16, I got 14 concussions in those 2 years.
Someone's finally beat my concussion record. I'm at 3. I think it was 3. It might have been 4.
How on earth did you get that many concussions?
I had a really unlucky streak. Like, some of the ways I got it in mainly sports, but I've had kicked in the face. I've been hit by a golf club. I've had cricket balls to the face, a cricket bat to the face. It's just.
Were you doing like WrestleMania or something? This sounds like the sort of stuff you'd see in like a ring like that.
No, that might be my next venture.
Yeah. Get your head covered though. Make sure you got head coverage on for that.
It might be useful.
So after all those concussions, was that the moment where you were like, maybe I should do something a bit more safe, maybe?
It was, yeah, that was the reason. I remember when I was sitting in the back of an ambulance, and I was obviously been concussed. I was thinking to myself, there's got to be an easier way to do this.
You thought, oh, what can I do? That's not this. Oh, wait a minute, what a brilliant idea. I'll do bodybuilding. You have to have brain damage to do it anyway. So.
Yeah, you do have to have brain damage to do it. Some bodybuilders do. But yeah, I got a 4-year sport ban, and I thought, you know what? Yeah, I think it's time to change career path.
That's the easiest way to get around it. If you get banned from sports, just do another sport that people don't think is a sport. Easiest way to do it. Very good. So then going on from there, you started at, you must have been 16 then?
Yes, yeah, I was a young 16-year-old when I started.
Okay, and did you from the get-go have the idea in your head that you wanted to compete, or was that a developing thing for you? Was that something that came to life like in the past year or something?
I wanted to put on the weight and I wanted to look better and be more confident. That's pretty much why anyone starts. But I remember someone saying, "Oh, you've got really good genetics, or like broad shoulders or something." I thought, "Oh, yeah, maybe." And I looked into competing. I've actually competed when I just turned 17 in Pure Elite and in their fitness model. I didn't place and I didn't look good. I didn't know what I was doing, to be honest with you. I lost about 12 kilos. Half of that must have been muscle. So it was not the best idea, but it got me a passion for it. I got on stage and I absolutely loved it. So that kind of lit a fire in me to go back and do better than I did.
Interesting. That's a bit unusual. Like most of the people we've had on are either the case that like they had it in their head that they started it and then they were like, okay, in like 3 years time, I think I'll probably compete. With you, it was more the case of, fuck it, I'll just jump into it and see what's going on with it. So yeah, fairly early then you were into it. So that's quite interesting. When did you decide then for like to compete this past year? Like when did that like decision happen?
It was actually 3 weeks before my first show. I thought, because I couldn't get into Australia because of COVID and everything. I thought, you know what, I'm going to use the time wisely. I'm going to compete. And I saw the show. It was only a small show. I thought, I'm already quite lean. I can just use those 3 weeks to prep, go in, and I came in all right shape. I mean, it could always be better, but yeah, did well. And then so 4 weeks for the BNBF was my prep, and I think we can both agree I was in the best shape of my life.
That's sick, man. Yeah. That is again like you are somewhat of a special case. Like I myself included, a lot of people, and I guess this maybe it's like the UK culture, but current UK culture for bodybuilding, especially natural bodybuilding, is like 20+ week diets, and then here you are walking into it. It's pretty good. Hey, look, you won, man. So
well, yeah, I mean, I can always be better, but I'm happy with the way it turned out.
Good stuff. So what's your plan now then? I know that we spoke a bit after the Midlands win. So you were going to go back to Australia, if I'm correct.
Yeah, hopefully mid-September, late September-ish.
Okay.
I won't be competing over there this year.
Okay, makes sense. And then are you going to have a extended off season now? Like, are you going to compete next year? What's your plan?
Well, what I say now and what I do is probably two very different things.
That's
well, it only takes 4 weeks. So.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I reckon 2 years I'm going to take off, and then I want to go back in as a junior and try and go for a higher level. So there's a ANB, I think, is over there, and they do the Miss Victoria and they do the nationals. I want to work my way up there, and hopefully, maybe one day go for an IFBB pro card,
that'll be sick, man. Yeah. So,
how did you actually end up over here?
My dad's work when I was quite young. He got an opportunity, so the family moved over.
Okay. Are you moving back there permanently, or just switch times, or what?
I'm planning to move back properly in September. So I've got stuff over there. So I'm living out of a suitcase until I can get over there.
So is your stint done, would you say, with the BNBF, or do you think you'll be back someday, or are you just gonna steamroll all of Australia?
You never know, really, do you? I might be back to I want to step on stage with Lewis again one day.
Knew it.
But yeah, I won't be going to the British finals because I won't be here. But yeah, maybe one day. You never know.
Yeah, that could be interesting. And so I guess you're almost doing what I did. Like, obviously, I didn't end up competing in teens because I was a little bit too old. I would have turned 20 by the final. So
right.
You're doing kind of what I did. I just ended up doing juniors instead, and then you went into you're going into maybe a 2-year off season, which is what I've done. I think that's probably the smartest move, to be honest. Like a lot of people nowadays, I think you'll see a lot of it now. I know that Joe Dan Bastic put up a thing about this recently as well, didn't he, on this story, a UK bodybuilder that we've had on. A lot of people nowadays seem to be in a mindset of, I need to compete every single year, which is understandable, like, because you want to step on stage. I know, like, for me, post-show, like in 2019, I was like, I want to compete next year. And then everyone else just said, no, don't be stupid. Like, you need time to grow. So I think that's a very smart move by you.
I mean, I think it's best, because you're going into a juniors as one of the youngest, and I think it's better just to put on the size, come back a few years later and really take over instead of going in again. And you're kind of just wasting your time at a young age.
Yeah.
You keep competing every year. You don't get time to seriously put on some size.
Yeah. Those are your main sort of growing years. I know that, like, out of the people I competed with, I don't think there was one person really who was like 19, 20 from when I competed who was in juniors, who was actually
just you. Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't. No one 19, 20 years old was really getting to the British.
You in 2019, you sort of like caught the back end of the 23-year-olds.
Yeah, I did. Everyone I competed against was like 23. There was only like a couple of 22 year olds. There was Koss as well.
Oh shit! Yeah,
he was the only other person who was like on the younger side who did well. Actually, he did quite well for himself. I know that he'll be, but he's had that longer season as well. He's competing again next year in juniors. So, yeah, man, I think that's the smartest move for you. And from what I've seen of Australia loves bodybuilding. Like, it's big. It seems like it's a very big scene over there. Have you ever, like, do you follow like the Australian bodybuilding community, like the pros or anything, the Arnold Classic, any of that sort of stuff?
Not really. I haven't heard much. I know there's a couple of Aussie bodybuilders that have done well for themselves, like obviously Callum Moga, Pete Hardwick, all them. I don't really know the scene as well as America or England. I'm sure once I'm over there, I'll get stuck in and I'll get to know it all.
Sure. Yeah.
Quite funny, because the first actual active pro I ever saw in the flesh was Jake Nicolopoulos from Australia in a pure gym in 2016. It was 2 days out before the NABA Universe, which he ended up winning. And I was just like, what the fuck is that? Like, he's only about 5'5", but it's huge. He was all dressed up in NO Explode like gear and stuff like that. So he was like bright red, this fucking bright red tank walking around this little pure gym. And I'd only been in the gym for 3 weeks. And I was just like, that's insane. So there's a few guys over there, you know, you got Jake, you got Sam Pierce is another one, Steve Orton as well.
Yeah.
So
there's a pretty good scene over there. There's one guy who I was big into a couple of years ago. I can't remember his name.
Friesman.
Friesman. Still follow him, actually. His content's actually quite good. But yeah, no, there's a pretty big scene there. So you're in good hands. Like, I know we've got a friend over there, Joe, who's an actual female bodybuilder, and she's very impressive. So I think you'll be in good hands there, and you'll probably enjoy your time there. I don't know what the scene is around like gyms over there, although as well, from what I've seen, it looks pretty sick. So I'm quite gassed for you there, but
yeah, there's going to be a different scene, I reckon, a whole different vibe. But, I reckon once I'm stuck in there and I get to know everyone, it will be great, because Aussie people are lovely and bodybuilders are all nice blokes, weirdly. Yeah, but the gyms over there, I've actually already found a really big bodybuilding gym. I don't remember the name of it, but there's a few pros that go there where I'm going to live, which is just perfect for me, because I'm training down at a pure gym at the moment. So.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely, man. Like a good training environment, we say this time after like time, Joe, makes all the difference.
Yeah.
I'm currently in a training environment where I'm surrounded by like pros as well, and like up and coming people in terms of like competition, and that environment sets like a standard that you want to reach, and you kind of have that, and you see it on a day-to-day basis. So if you were to like, I mean, it's clear that you seem to be going towards the classic physique, and that I think is definitely the smart pursuit for you, considering your structure. That's going to be really interesting, man. Really interested to follow.
I'm looking forward to competing in classic one day. I don't know when it will be, but yeah, because I've done men's physique, I've done bodybuilding now, and I've done fitness modeling.
Yeah. Do they? I don't know what the Aussie Feds are like for classic divisions. Do they have like a set classic physique like the RFBB do, or do they have like classic bodybuilding or whatever?
I think they've got classic physique. And obviously, all federations are different, but I know the IFBB and the ANB do. But I'm not sure if they've got a junior, so I might just have to go into the open.
Okay. Oh wow.
We'll see.
Just diet for 6 weeks instead. You'll be all right.
Just diet a bit longer.
But no, it's interesting because yeah, we didn't obviously know that. Well, I didn't anyway. That you were, you know, moving from here to there, like all the way across the world and stuff like that. You knew this was happening while you were prepping for the shows as well.
Yeah. I know it.
That takes some serious balls, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
All out before I go.
Yeah. So now you're post show. Obviously you didn't do well. You still had to diet, and you've dieted hard, and you're in good condition, especially for a teen. How are you handling post show?
Obviously, we've had a big old cheat meal.
Yes.
2 or 3 days where I just did not care.
I saw the Domino's or the pizza or whatever it was one of the days.
I absolutely demolished that Domino's, I can tell you that. Besides, and got halfway through a whole tray of brownie. So that, yeah, honestly, I inhaled that. But the next, so what's it been now? Just over a week. So the next 5 days after that, I've actually been pretty good at reverse dieting, pretty on it. And I'm keeping up my cardio, which I didn't think I would do. It's helping. I've not done one of these crazy 20 pounds of fat put back on or anything like that.
No names mentioned. I don't know who that 20 pound is. Yeah, no, it's cardio is huge, I think, post show, especially like if you dieted like at all hard. I know a lot of people have like a bit of edema, like coming off the back of shows, and like that water retention, like getting that off and doing cardio and drinking plenty of fluid is huge. So you appear to have gone about that properly.
I'll try my best to. Give up on it as soon as
coach yourself or work with anybody?
I've done it all myself, but yeah, I'm thinking of taking on a coach in my off season.
Okay. Anyone in particular you're looking at?
I like this young guy. I've been talking to him, Tommy Ablett, I think his name is. He's a Two Bros Classic.
Okay.
He seems to really know what he's doing.
UK?
Yeah, up in the Midlands.
Okay.
Tommy Ablett.
Cool. I like him, and he's a really nice guy.
I shall keep my eyes open for that.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that Jermaine doesn't live here anymore. So
yeah, I'm not Midlands anymore, man. I'm only just, but
yeah.
Should we go? I'm going to pull up the Instagram as well while we're here. One sec. I've left my DMs open as usual by accident. How
Mm.
did
you find the whole show day experience with the BNBF?
Best show I've done, hands down. Is get on stage, the stage feeling, all the lights, everything's done so well. And I've got my trophy sitting over there. Lovely. I honestly.
All right, let me.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah, it's you.
It's a bit weird seeing it like this.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? It's like when we get tagged and stuff and people are like, on the TV, it is strange.
Yeah.
It's quite fun though. Maybe, hey, if anyone's watching / listening, send us or mention us in your stories of you're watching us on TV with your bowl of cream of rice or whatever. So
Mainly it's the cardio viewings though. Everyone just listens on audio.
yeah,
Don't
absolutely. So let's go back to this. Look at this.
That's a terrible photo, but
Still though, like look at that. Look at the shape. We were saying this the other week, weren't we, Joe? On the podcast, we were doing a little bit of a review from the Midlands, and we were saying like you could see it in pretty much every single pose and picture you have. This structure, you can see it like in every single picture. This is a great picture, by the way. Show shoots do great pictures. All my pictures were show shoot pictures. But man, like, look at this. Look at this for a pose. I will say as well, like, this is another thing we said, like, you've come into like natural bodybuilding here at a very interesting time. Like we're obviously coming off the back of COVID, and also having like such a massive amount of people competing currently who are of a really good caliber. It's really interesting, like people like yourself who've come out like the woodwork almost, like that weren't on the map essentially for natural bodybuilding, who've just appeared and everyone's like, oh shit, look at this guy. So yes,
yeah, though, across all the classes at the show, everyone was really, really good.
Yeah, they were all good. This is you winning, isn't it? This is them calling it out. Yeah, and calling it. Look at that. Excellent. That's one of your poses. The second one looks like a pose you do.
I've actually been working on that one. It's the old Arnold.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oosh.
That was the first show, I think.
Yeah.
You see the conditions not quite as good that time.
Yeah, even though the pictures with show shoots are amazing for the being there in person, there's a massive difference.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a and that goes for like most shows as well. A lot of people will see pictures on Instagram, wherever, and rarely do pictures do justice. Even like off stage, like on Instagram, you'll see pictures of people on Instagram. You'll meet them in person, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
they double in size, you know. So
it's like the Dan who was it now? The guy who won the best quads award. His physique does not translate from Instagram to what I saw on that stage.
Absolutely not.
Like, it was insane. You know, the overall as well for everyone was just stacked across the board. So
this is a hilarious picture. This is what all bodybuilders think will happen when they start training.
There's a funny story. I mean, I literally walked out of the venue. I just got off stage, and this guy comes running up to me, and he's like, excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but we're a tourist group, and the girls were looking at you, and they've never seen anyone like you. Could they grab a picture?"
Unbelievable.
Oh, that's epic.
That is hilarious. That they're going to go back to their countries and go, this is what the UK is about now. This is what they see.
This is just an average UK man.
Yes.
Did you find out where they were touring from?
No idea.
That's a shame, because somewhere in the world you've got a fan of like 15 odd women who are just. So is this like this was from when 2020? So this is from last year. I mean, even this, like, see the progression here.
Yeah, man.
To even that, look.
Yeah,
that's sick, man. Sorry for the audio listeners who are just listening to us go, oh yeah, look at this picture. They can't hear it. They can't see it.
I think, in short, what we're trying to say is we were fucking blown away from your performance on stage.
Honestly. In teams generally, like obviously Lewis as well. Like you and him we were both just at, like, I had the pleasure of seeing both of you, obviously. And man, natural bodybuilding is very much alive, I think. And you've got stuff like this coming out. So yeah.
One thing that stood out for me, and it did for Jermaine and Jack Richardson as well, because we talked about it in the audience, was how far further ahead you were than the rest of the lineup in terms of presentation on stage.
Yeah.
Who has anyone in particular influenced the way you take pride in your presentation on stage?
Obviously we've all got our influences, and I take Chris Bumstead and what's his name, Terence Ruffin.
Wow. Yeah.
I love, like, watching them on stage. It's just art. They are literally
There's some awesome videos, isn't there, of Terence? I think he was posing in like China or somewhere. And I've got those saved somewhere, but like videos of him posing outside like a shrine in China and doing like full like 3-minute posing routines, shit like that stuff, like it blows my mind watching that.
And you can see from my routine, we based like some of my transitions and stuff from them, and it's just, honestly, watching them is it motivates me to pose for like hours a day, just practicing. Obviously I love it. I love posing. I love presenting yourself properly. I just think, well, the better you look posing, the better you're going to look on stage.
Absolutely. Posing, like, in my opinion, like, I mean, at the end of the day, if all the physiques on stage are on par, what will separate them? It'll always be posing. Like, posing at the end of the day will win the show. And that's definitely what it has done for you. Like, even this, like, this is a great example. So you can see the difference between the first versus the second. Like, posing here is still good, but then you see the difference. It's like, yeah,
you can just see a difference in confidence. I know what.
Yeah, absolutely. And the hands, the movement, yeah, it's all much more fluid. So let's get back around to the IFBB Pro Talk. Yeah. So when do you think you'll actually start looking at that as like an avenue?
I'm not sure. Obviously, I would want to be the youngest person to do it. Actually, I don't know who I think they're 20 is the youngest person that's got it.
The classic physique, I think probably, yeah.
I think it's around 2021.
Who is the youngest actually?
I know Anthony Mantello's trying to go for it.
Keown was like, he was like 23, wasn't he?
Yeah.
When he got it.
I don't know about classic, but shit, what was his name? Cody Montgomery was about 20.
Was he?
Yeah. 20 or 21 or something.
Side or Seed was like 19, 18 or something. But who is
Dallas was 22, so
yeah. I mean, there's like that, you'll be young regardless. Like,
yeah.
If you're planning to turn pro in the next 3-4 years, like, possibly realistic as well. Depends how far you want to go, because, like, look at this. Like, pulling poses like this and actually having them look good is rare, actually, especially at like a younger age. So I could see that being realistic as a goal, for sure.
Let's hope so.
I'm very intrigued to know who you actually end up with as a coach, though, because like, there's a lot of really good coaches in the UK, especially. But if you found like a classic coach or someone who coaches for classic, and you've got someone who understands all the posing criteria, who's also a fantastic poser themselves, like, stuff like that can make or break like how quickly you can progress, for sure.
I think Josh came to mind, but obviously he's stepped away from bodybuilding now. Kinsey Clark would have been fucking fantastic.
Yeah, Josh would have been fantastic, actually.
If you don't know James, Josh, we've done like 3-4 podcasts with him, but he hasn't really got anything on his Instagram anymore.
I know he's deleted most of his stuff, hasn't he? He's a motherfucker, but I love him to bits.
A free-spirited guy for sure. But yeah, he's won. So what did he win? Won the piece, NABBA Welsh, NABBA Britain. So he's a Mr. Britain. Wow. But he's retired pretty much.
Yeah.
And he's focusing on music at the moment. I know that for a fact. And but But you competed with his brother, didn't you, mate?
I think I did, yeah, but I didn't realise
Yeah.
at the time. But I think I did, yeah.
Yeah. Jack.
Yeah.
But Joshua's great at everything artistic related.
Yeah.
And autistic from the podcast we've had with him.
That guy has no chill. But yeah, no,
No.
100%. There's a lot of fantastic guys in the UK scene that you can find that I know of. Even like I was talking to, we had him son, who was the last podcast to go out, and he's been working with Samson for a while. Dowda, who's a IFBB pro bodybuilder, but the guy poses almost like a classic guy anyway. Poses very, very well. So yeah, man, very exciting. Should we get on to some questions?
Sure.
While we're here,
I'm going to go for what? Well, it's a question to all three of us, actually. I don't think we've ever talked about it on the podcast properly. It's not that exciting.
Oh.
What do you all do besides bodybuilding?
What a great question. What a great question.
Not a fucking lot, yeah.
I cuddle my cat. That's not an innuendo. I cuddle a cat. What else? Play video games. I was about to say go to the gym, but that doesn't count, does it? Because it's not. Yep. Oh shit, this is difficult. What else do I do?
Well, you've just finished your degree.
Just finished my degree, strength conditioning, sports nutrition. Studied in Birmingham, and I'm currently looking at graduate work and stuff like that, and currently applying actively for jobs within strength and conditioning and like the S&C field and stuff like that.
You just put a little retail hut outside Ultraflex.
Yeah. Do you think I'll get away with it? I think I'll get mugged off by everyone.
He was sound, man. When we spoke to him, he'll remember you.
Oh no, I see him like on a day-to-day basis. I'm hard to miss, mate. Look at my hair.
You're right, bro. You're right.
Someone, a couple of people sent me sent me something on Instagram recently, and they were watching a bunch of like videos at Ultraflex, filmed by people like that, and you could just see my head moving around in the background. They see my hair, and that's all you see.
Well, we featured in AJ's newest video as well.
Did we?
Yeah, we were in the background after the show, just talking shit.
Oh, good shit. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But no, I'm currently halfway through the degree Jermaine has just finished after 2 years away from education. What else do I like doing? Video games, football fan, like watching it. American football fan.
I like you have to specify fan as opposed to what? Hooligan? Like...
I can't play anymore.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Too scared to tear something. What else? Part-time bed holder at every hospital in the area.
You should pay rent cost at this point, really. Shouldn't you?
And proud boyfriend. There you go.
That's fucking cringe. Fuck off.
Yeah, I am. What can I say?
You rub it in my face, man. What the fuck?
No, she's out there, Jermaine.
She is out there somewhere.
Well, I presume it's a she.
In some place, sometime. What if she's been and gone? What if it's already happened? Wouldn't that be depressing?
I don't know. When James had the moustache, he sort of looked like a love guru. Ask him.
You can ask me. The moustache is gone though, so
the wisdom's left as well. Yeah.
What about you, James? Your turn. What are you into besides getting up on stage in Budgie Smugglers?
See, that is my favourite pastime. I'm a professional chef. I've been a high-end chef for 4 years now. So I left about a month before finishing my A-levels stupidly, and I just threw myself into that industry, which isn't the best because I specialise in like pastries and desserts. So when you're on prep,
oh my god,
you've got like baking hot brownies and whatever, cooking away on a daily basis, and you can smell it, and you're just not allowed to touch it.
Do you not just like, does the effect just not wear off after a certain point?
No, I can take that.
I hate that in like a workplace or a place you have to be. Like I used to have that in my old work where over summer I was prepping almost every day. Someone would be having takeaway pizza or something in the office. And all I could do was smell the fucking Domino's. I'd just go sit on the bench.
It'd be like being a pisshead working in a pub. Like, it's not going to work. You know? No, I can't imagine.
Drug addict working at a dispensary. Yes.
Exactly. You're like 3 days out from your show, and there's some fucking jammy Dodger brownies going in the oven.
And someone's offering to them. Someone's poking you.
Speaking of jammy Dodger blondies, I had one in Stratford the other week. Well, this weekend just gone. Mate, unreal. Unreal. Because it's like 70% blondie, right? And then it was about 25% jam, 5% shortbread.
Mate, this is such a segue. What is going on?
Yeah.
We just went into a minute long segue about brownies. Yeah, so what else, James? What else?
Not a lot. I just work and go to the gym, and yeah, I'm a proud single man.
Yeah.
Fuck the both of you. No, that's cool, man. Because to be honest, food, despite all the boring shit that we cook and stuff, I do take a lot of pride in cooking my own food and seasoning stuff and preparing shit nice and things like that. So, but I know it's supposed. I don't know what sort of area you work in. Obviously, pastries and things like that. But from the videos I've seen, it's one hell of a stressful environment to work in.
Yeah. I've done everything in the kitchen, and I've worked my way up to be a head chef. And trust me, you see some bad stuff in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I've had plates thrown at my head, food thrown at me, pots. I've been hit, been screamed at for no reason. It's as we all like to say, character building.
That's it. I don't think people believe in that anymore.
Yeah, it's probably why you seem quite chilled out and amenable. It's probably because the rest of the time you're in a high pressure situation. Just to stress both of you out, I take no pride in cooking. I just throw it all in an air fryer at this point.
Yeah, but you've got the exotic heritage, so it doesn't matter.
What does that mean?
No, it's the presumption that everyone just thinks, oh, okay, you can cook.
Oh, right, yeah, okay, fair. Maybe?
No, it's absolutely a fact.
They put that on the air fryers, made for made for people of African heritage. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. That was always a. Did you never get that in school? Did you never get that in school?
What?
Well, I did when I first started like bringing meals and shit to school. I didn't know that you could have seasonings on stuff, so I just have like chicken breast plain with some rice and nothing, and all the black guys, because my school like 80% black, and everyone was just like, seriously, bro, not even any mayonnaise.
I got it from all the extremely white people when I brought in my jerk chicken.
Fucking hell. It's the other way around for me.
It's
like, the plainer the food, the more abuse you got.
With food tech in catering, I made plantain and I did plantain and stuff like that. And that's when everyone was like, yeah.
What's that? Is that a banana?
Yeah. That shit.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Very good.
The most exotic lunch that you can have. Beans and chips. There you go.
Yeah.
I like it. What is your favorite sort of food? To eat?
But we're talking like region.
To eat, as in, well, yeah, it can be region or it can be.
We've got a food question here, which we can segue into, which is the most overrated fast food. So we'll get to that. Okay. But
what's my favorite food?
Yeah.
Obviously, being an Aussie, I have to say barbecue. Anything on the barbecue, seafood, fat steak, tomahawk steak is nothing.
Oh yes.
Get yourself to Costco, mate.
Ooh.
Barbecue meat is just the best meat, isn't it?
It's it.
Yeah. If I could have the time to just barbecue all my meats, like all my prepped food meat, I absolutely would. But I absolutely do not have the time to do that.
One of my short-term goals is, once me and Kate get our own place, is to be able to afford one of those outdoor like fucking smoker barbecues.
Yes. it's worth it.
I want it. It's going to cost me like $5,000, but I want one. You know.
Right, get on to the most overrated fast food then.
I've not thought about it. You can start.
God, I don't know. I mean, in a way,
What has like this thing of it's amazing, but really it's shit.
Mackey's.
Yes.
I was going to say Nando's.
It's I wouldn't call Nando's really fast food. It's just clean-ish.
You can get it on Deliveroo. So
Yeah, but you can get most things on Deliveroo now.
everything's fast food, man.
On bloody Uber Eats, you can just order like bottles of wine from the One Stop or some shit like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Fuck. Burger King.
Burger King? Really?
Shit, man.
I mean, I don't think of it as overrated because I don't go there and no one ever raves to me about it, but maybe that's why.
But it's one of the big four, though, isn't it?
Big four being Mackey's, Burger King,
KFC, and I don't know.
Wagamama's.
Big John.
John. Are you sure? Not what? Why not like Pepe's chicken or Dixie?
Yeah, but, there you go.
Dixie chicken.
Hello for all our brothers out there.
Yes.
Fuck. Yeah, Burger King, innit?
I would say Mackey's. I think it's Mackey's. But it's overrated also because everyone says it's disgusting, but they still fucking eat it, even though they always complain about it. Yeah, because it's just cram full of MSG or whatever it is, isn't it?
And the breakfast is pretty good.
What is the breakfast?
The breakfast sandwich is pretty good.
What is it?
You know, like double sausage and egg McMuffin.
McMuffin. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't eat fucking Mackey's, bro. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Neither do I. I'm just saying. Yeah. Fuck off.
Right. Next question.
We'll take one from you, James.
Yeah. I'll see
what we got.
Do you want a boring one, or do you want?
An out there one. Has to be a weird.
Throw it out there.
Yeah. Guarantee it's not the weirdest thing we've spoken about on this podcast.
Well, I think there's two ways you can look at the weird stuff: the sexual stuff, and then just the nonsense. The nonsense was skydiving towards Earth, high on LSD brownies, fighting a bear.
It wasn't LSD, it was DMT, wasn't it?
DMT, yeah.
It was smoking DMT, jumping out of a plane while boxing with a bear.
Fucking grizzly bear.
Right, I've got one for sort of me and Jermaine, and actually, yeah, Joe as well.
Okay.
Because we've all got weird hair.
That.
Weird hair.
Why did when and why did you dye your hair? So, it's sort of the same for everyone.
Go on. The guest can start.
Oh god. I dyed my hair 4 months ago because I got bored. I wanted to change. Yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah. I mean,
ended up liking it.
I was bored in the first lockdown, and to pass the time, one of my flatmates actually knew how to do hair and hairdressing and stuff like that, and I was like, maybe I should just bleach and dye my tips some different colors or some shit like that.
Yeah, I can't remember you without it dipped on.
Yeah, I know, it's weird, right? Well, no one can remember me without dreadlocks, which I think is fucking hilarious.
No, I can. I remember, not fully. You had sort of like spider legs coming out of the top of your head.
Yeah, when it was real short, when they just started them. Yeah, most people don't know what my natural hair looks like, and they'll never know. I'll keep that hidden. Maybe next year I'll just turn up on stage and the dreads will be gone, and it'll be man.
Imagine that.
That'd be such a mind fuck for people, wouldn't it?
They'd be like, "Who the fuck's number 9?" Yeah.
I'll get
you did juniors 2 years ago. You did juniors 2 years ago. Christ, he's had a rough 2 years. That would be me. That would be me on the junior stage. Like, fucking hell, who's that old bastard? Yeah, the reason I shaved my head is just started going at the front, and then just got thin. And I'm just like, no, fuck it, might as well get rid of it.
That's it. Just gotta go.
Yeah.
Go on, hit us with another one. Hit us with another one. I'm intrigued to see what other
This
ones.
is actually a good question. Is there anything you dislike about bodybuilding?
Oh,
That's
it
good.
could be a list. Jesus. Because
One
it's
thing.
does it have to be one thing, or could it be multiple things?
What do you dislike about bodybuilding?
The cost. It's like the monetary cost, to be honest. I don't know about anything else. Like some people might say, oh, the fact that, you know, people are into it, that kind of gets me going. I kind of like the fact that I'm into something that most people don't have a fucking clue is going on. Like the best person in our sport could be retired 5 years ago, walk down the street, and no one knows who they are. Like that's cool to me because you get the praise and respect from people that actually look up to you rather than just, oh shit, you're, I don't know, Brad Pitt or something like that. You know,
you see that a lot with famous people, don't you? Where like one person will recognize them, take a picture with them, then loads of people take pictures with them just because they know they're famous.
Yeah,
because they actually know who they are or what they do.
It happens to Darren all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
When like Rad was telling me a story before about they'd gone out for like a curry or something like that about 4 or 5 years ago, and one of the people that worked in the restaurant like recognized Dorian. I think he might have been the security guard. And then as everyone was walking in, they were like, "Oh, this guy's such and such," and they're like, "Oh," and then 5 minutes later they'll get a picture with him. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
But no, I'd say the financial cost. Other than that, probably not anything.
For me, it's definitely the stereotype or ethos that's built up around it by people who aren't in the sport. That's definitely it. So most people who I speak to for the first time, who have got no clue what I do, immediately assume, one, I'm probably homosexual for dyeing my hair different colors and stepping on stage in a thong. Number two, that I want to be the big tough guy to beat people up, and I'm a nasty looking motherfucker. Yeah,
that's true.
I just have a resting bitch face. I'm not a nasty guy. Like I like to think I'm actually quite a nice person. And three, the fact that they just assume everyone's a steroid monkey. That's my three for that. And then other than that, actually in the sport, people just assuming that you can take various substances or do certain things to basically just skip around problems or skip around hard work. That's a very common thing you see.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I do agree.
Excellent.
You can only have one flavor whey for a year. What and why?
Ooh.
Are we talking shake or paste?
Wait, what? There's paste.
Powder, just huff it.
Yeah, like if you... Do you know who Jack Thorburn is, James?
No.
Here we go.
Well, he's a pro champion natural bodybuilder, and he gets very fancy with his ways. So he'll add a little bit of water, tiny bit. So like, say you add it to a tub or something like that. Add literally like a splash from a tap or maybe 200 mils. Make it into sort of a mousse. Add your nut butter, add your dark chocolate or whatever, and have it like that. Honest to God, it's so much better.
This is something I can see James actually doing though.
I might give that a go. It sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, he tries to make everything almost a work of art. It's quite funny. I could see you actually doing it and like piping some protein sludge onto some.
Yeah, just go on YouTube and just be like how to make whey paste or whatever.
Yeah. Whey paste. I haven't thought about that yet.
Whey paste, yeah. Just on top of cream of rice or something like that. It's great. Yeah.
So
I personally just have it in the shake currently because I'm peak off season. I can't be asked to eat food. Just can't be asked.
One flavor.
One flavor.
We keep it generic, so don't need to add a brand.
Yeah.
What's the best flavor whey I've ever had? I'm gonna have to look this up. I know what it is, but I can't remember the name of it.
The best way I've ever had is Mutant ISO Surge mint choc chip.
Great choice. Yeah.
I couldn't do it for a year.
Really?
Yeah, no way.
I had the double choc or whatever it was for the whole of my prep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'll try and
What
find.
about you, James?
I'm at the moment. I've got vanilla because I'm boring. But it just goes.
You can add things to vanilla though.
Yeah, I usually.
And it all tastes good.
Yogurts, whatever. But I've got on the way. Okay.
On the way.
Little pun for you. The white chocolate and raspberry.
Ooh.
What, Perform?
Hey?
The Perform one?
I don't know. It's from My Protein.
Oh, okay. It's always good anyway. Well, white chocolate raspberry ones are great.
I love white chocolate and raspberry ripple ice cream. So I thought,
It's pretty much the same thing, especially if you add it to yogurt. It's great.
It tastes like that.
Oh, mine. The Muscle Sport Lean Whey. It's their whey isolate in cinnamon crunch.
Ooh.
Absolutely filthy. I'll tell you. I had that post show because it's like slightly higher carbs. So I was like, yep, having that and that.
Alongside your super green salad. I'm never ever forgetting that shit. Oh, bro, what are you gonna have for post show? Oh, I'm gonna have a Nando's and a fucking vegetable fucking medley. Brilliant.
Well, we actually went though. We went to Nando's, but I got told that I needed to eat something actually substantial, so I had a 2-person platter. So
that's all right. That's all right. But no, vanilla or chocolate for me.
Vanilla, chocolate, both solid, but I'll be the one that's out there. You know,
bit of a more weird flavor. The chocolate banana by Complete Strength. Very nice.
Ooh.
If you like that artificial banana flavor, which I do.
Banana cream.
Yeah, which I do. I like that artificial fucking banana sort of flavor. Then give it a whack. It's fairly cheap as well. So
excellent. Got another
one? 1, 2, 3.
I'll tell you what.
One of them's already been answered anyway, so we'll leave it to you.
What are you saying, James?
Favorite pre?
Ooh. Best pre or best flavor pre?
1 sec, I'll be back. I'll grab mine.
Flavor.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of them here. Hang on. Right. I think that's where Jermaine's gone as well. It's that or he's shit the bed again. But do you get quite like, because you're still like, I keep forgetting you're only like 2-3 years in.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to a point where you're like proud of using certain brands?
Not particularly. To be honest, I've never really taken pre. I've only taken it like the last 3 months.
Okay. He's only 3 months into the pre-game. I almost called you Jerome.
Fuck off.
Defib.
Not everyone who can't remember my name calls me.
Yeah. It's on the screen as well.
Jerome or Jamal.
Fucking Jamal. That's too far.
There you go, defib. Now my
what flavor?
This one is Fizzy Candy Crush.
Ooh.
It tastes like almost like a Twister lollipop or Twister ice lolly thing.
What, with the cream in?
Yeah, it's almost that kind of taste, but less not like the actual cream, obviously.
You can use that for the thumbnail. Yeah, it's not that. Don't sound like my cup of tea. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, this one's great. A lot of a good panel, patented ingredients, of course.
Flavor wise, probably. Oh, you can't see. Hang on.
Because it's a black tub. Turn it.
Ah,
yes.
That is cherry Garcia flavor.
That is a good one.
Very nice. But if you want to get
brand Alpha line,
what?
It's the brand Alpha line. Is that what the brand?
Yeah. If you want to get completely blasted off your nut, James, get this before it's already illegal, so you can really only get it secondhand now. That is mental.
Jeez.
If you like peach ring sweets as well,
yeah,
it tastes exactly like that. Hence the name Big Rings.
Nice.
So,
if you're going to,
unless it's gonna taste like arsehole.
I don't have a tub on me, but if you're going to a rave or something, get yourself a tub of
Dark side.
the dark side. Yeah. We do straight away.
Oh.
I actually did I tell you about how I went and trained at the owner's gym?
I think I saw your old video.
I did not make it. Oh yeah, I think I did make a video about it on YouTube years ago. But I went to his gym, got blasted on dark side, and trained legs with the guy. Adrian's his name. And oh my god, I was on a come down. I didn't go to sleep till like 2 a.m. Yeah, 2 a.m. It was rough.
I know Katie is using Dark Shred.
Oh yeah.
At the minute.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Fuck that.
I mean, that shit feels like it's going to shut down your endocrine system. No exaggeration. Like you feel like your body's failing you. So,
no, there's some that is just, what are people doing?
Another one is Wobbs.
I've seen it about.
I tried.
It looks dodgy.
I tried the sample of it when Mo Samuels, who owned, when he was still formulating it, I got a sample, and it was in pill form. And I think it was like halfway through my prep. I had a sample.
And it's just like, leave that on your tongue, mate.
It felt like I just popped like 10 to 20 like pills of Yohimbine.
Jesus.
Just sweating like fuck. And I was just like, it was very intense. I had to sit down for half an hour and think about my mistake.
I will say now, since having the 9 to 10 weeks off training because of hospital and that, I had my first session back today. Only used the pump pre, which is hydraulic by Axe and Sledge, which is Seth Ferocious company.
Nice.
That with a coffee was great. I don't think I want to get blasted off my tits anymore. So I've got like 150 pounds worth of prees.
Sounds like you've been through rehab, mate.
Not if you think about it though, like if you've been slamming like all these stims for like how long were we training together? Like 10 weeks?
10 plus weeks, yeah.
Yeah. 4 times a week. And then you come off for 9 weeks. I'm afraid of what could happen.
Mate, you'll just like have a dab of pre on your finger and you'll
open the tub, inhale the fumes.
Yeah, your pupils just dilate.
I remember when I went to Body Power in 2018 and I got a sample of Atomic Bomb from Anth Bales, the original formula, which was forest apple flavor or something like that. It didn't taste like forest apple, it tasted like ammonia. But I don't know how long it had been like sat in his bag. But honest to God, I've never
Even the newer Atomic Bomb is lethal. I had a scoop last year off of someone at Ultraflex, and that finished me. I was a state. James, have you ever been to any expos? That's a question.
No, I don't think I have actually.
Get yourself to one. Absolutely. When is the Arnold Australia? When's that rolling around? Is that already been?
They cancelled it this year, along with all the IFBB shows.
Oh yeah, for fuck's sake. Yeah, that's shit, isn't it? That's the one I was thinking of. Nathan Williamson. He's a fantastic Australian bodybuilder. There. I'll pull him up.
Don't pull him off.
Jamie, pull it up.
Let's have a look.
This is a good guy.
That's Ian Valiant.
That is indeed. Nathan James Williamson.
Oh yes.
That was him when I think that's him when he won his pro card, was it maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nuts. I think he's taken some time away, hasn't he?
He has, yeah, because he has family stuff going on, I think. He's got a daughter, I know that. But like, yeah, crazy physique. If you watch videos of him training or taking someone through training, highly recommend.
Brutal.
Yeah, but it's very, very focused. Like it's so exact.
Okay.
Everything is so exact. Like, you know how you'll get people who will just be like, yeah, try and squeeze and contract through here, and they'll like prod that area. he's like rinsing every single rep and like
Brilliant.
teaching you constantly. Like he's trying to build, like, he's very conscious of biomechanics and being very aware of where muscles insert and actually focusing on that when training. So he's like basically an S&C coach, really. Like, that's how good he is in terms of.
Might be cool to have him on.
Yeah, I could actually reach out to him. I think I spoke to him a while back because I actually inquired to him for coaching at one point.
Okay.
But yeah, very, very cool guy. Definitely one to look at. Let's do another question.
Let's keep them coming, James. Quick fire.
Yeah, let's get through your viewers' cues.
How much protein do you eat?
Fuck off.
It's pretty much stuff like that. What's your favourite source of protein?
I had a few like that last time.
That's a good question, though.
What?
Yeah, go on.
What is your favourite source of protein?
Steak.
Well, like beef products.
Oh, like a whole category? Probably red meat, but I don't eat it that much now. For a period of time, I pounded red meat.
Yeah. It's weird. Like, it's the one food that digests very well for me, which is fucking weird considering everything. But I don't know.
Maybe because, I mean, it takes, how long does it takes quite a while to digest. It's like 24 hours.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
It's a very, very slow digesting source of protein.
I do wonder sometimes if the faster the food is to digest, if that can actually be detrimental to the digestive system.
I think possibly. I mean, faster something digests, there's a lack of use of enzymes and that profile in the stomach. So hence why.
And then once you move away from anything like that, you tend to have a bad reaction.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
that was 100% what happened to me in prep. I was choosing and eating food choices which were convenient, but also just the fastest and the easiest and the quickest for the time. And then any deviation from that, even just increases in the base levels of those carbs or proteins, is, you know, you feel it. So
yeah,
interesting.
It's got to be chicken though. If fried chicken's on there, 100%.
Fried chicken. What about you, James?
You said fried chicken now.
Are we counting that? Is that really protein source? Is that more fat at this point? Like,
that's a dirty bulking protein.
Lee Priest did it. It's fine.
On plan, just a half a pack of chicken nuggets every
I can do that. I used to do. My mum. Here's an old throwback. When I was about 10, I'd ask my mum. She'd be like, "What do you want for dinner?" Like once every fucking month or something. A whole 50-pack of chicken dippers.
Oh my god! Yeah, wait, you're ready for the primary school classic?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Certainly not modelling the uniform. Yeah. What, you in the mood for fried chicken now, James?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm kind of feeling that now, dickheads.
Fried chicken. I've got beef and veg.
I've got salmon. So
salmon in the air fryer is the one.
It is. It's very good.
Does it not go dry?
No.
That's the best.
Oh my god, the professional chef.
Yeah.
Using an air fryer.
He's a head chef now. All he does is throw shit at people.
Yeah, that's my job now. That's basically it.
Yeah, it makes everything.
Get out! Gordon's just a legend.
Being someone in the industry, I can say every head chef that I've been under is like Gordon, but worse.
I do think it's a pride thing. Like, if that was me, it's the same way a gym owner gives a shit about how people use the equipment.
Yeah.
If you've put your name to something and people expect like a certain level of professionalism from you, and then some arsehole who might just be new, who's been there a week, but you got to make sure they know what to expect.
And Bale is notorious, isn't he, for kicking people out of his gym for not putting this away. He'll like cancel their members.
But anyway, next question.
Next one.
Would you consider doing any other competitions like powerlifting or whatever?
I definitely consider powerlifting, but it'd have to be in like the post-show window, really. I do on a rebound. I'd take full advantage of it.
I wouldn't do powerlifting because I'm not that strong. Maybe long distance running because I was always good at that when I was a kid. Don't really know if that counts as another one, but I don't know. Swimming, maybe.
To be fair, if I wasn't such a fat fuck as a kid, I would have.
You got the body type for to be a swimmer.
Maybe, but I was very good at sprint ability. Like my RSA.
Oh, so it's nerve damage to the calves. That's what's happened.
Yes. Yeah. So neuromuscular, yes. But no, like I've always been like a person where like if like you've used that kit, Joe, haven't you? The treadmills that basically force production and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those pieces of kit. I'm always the fastest acceleration.
Okay.
Like in like groups that I've been in, I've always been fastest to reach peak velocity. So I could see myself being like a short distance sprinter, maybe.
Everything for me was always the other way. It was non-explosive. It was long distance or hurdling or relay or something like that.
It was the African sprinter calves for me. They've always done it.
Tug of war, that one. Yeah.
I was good at tug of war, to be fair, but I was
never ever lost a game. It was great.
I always lost because there was this one other guy we talked about him before, Edward Morton. If you're out there, mate, he had I'm sure
trying to throw shade at
I'm sure he had a myostatin deficiency or something.
Oh my god!
That guy like was a genetic freak. His hand was like he had like a giant. No, white. He was a white.
Like a big farm boy.
Yeah, it was like a Flex Lewis.
Brock Lesnar. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was weird, man.
Yeah.
Freakishly big guy.
What was your favourite event at Sports Day, James?
I was a really good high jumper. Weirdly, I was like 5 foot, but I hold district records.
5 foot, fucking hell! Like, was you wearing stilts at the show or something?
Jesus.
I've had a little bit of a growth spurt.
Yeah.
Years, but I was always like really tiny. But it was weird because I always used to win the high jump and the long jump. Being small, you see the Olympians, they're like 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
No idea. Bit of a strange genetics.
Genetically very gifted for strength and like force production, but then obviously if you were very light as well, just catapult yourself.
Maybe I should look further into the Ben Pakulski style of training. Zero force production, just contractions.
That's what I do for arms now, basically. Like,
yeah.
Very much like my load is arguably lower, like in the loads that I've been lifting recently, but I've been getting more progression. So
that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Any more good ones?
Yeah.
Just conscious of time. I know you're a busy guy,
so. With your progress so far, how many years until you think you reach your genetic potential? Because I put on my Instagram, I won't go on steroids until I think I've reached my genetic potential.
Okay.
Don't really know. You guys would probably know better than me how long to reach your natural genetic potential.
Depends, doesn't it?
Yeah, there is. I mean, that is such a variable dependent question. I think for most people, you get to a point where progressions are just abysmally slow after a certain point in time. And for me, I would say from what I've seen, it's probably between like 8 to 10 years.
That is considering that everything is being hit to a T, by the way. Like there's nothing missing. Because I've seen people, even that I know, that just go to the gym and eat like shit and things like that. But once they add another aspect to the lifestyle, like say they're at the diet 60-40 positive and shit food, if they stop going out on the piss on a Friday, for 4 months or whatever, and they look 5-10 times better. So, It's hard. God knows it's hard to say, man.
It's a difficult one. I think, like for me personally, I think 10 years would probably be close. I know. I mean, look at people like, who's a good example of a natural bodybuilder for this?
One that claims it, Mike O'Hearn.
To be honest, I don't know about Mike.
Like throughout the years, and obviously been tested.
I will never.
He's always looked the same though.
Yeah.
Like going back to like 1994, like he looks the same.
It's an interesting one, isn't it?
Maybe he does a little bit when he diets down.
I think he's probably been on like TRT for like decades or something. Probably.
Yeah.
He's just been running like.
But then you look at pictures of him when he's like 13. He's got a fucking mustache. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. I mean, there's absolutely genetic freaks out there, and genetic female. Like, look at Keown.
Yeah.
Like you, that was a guy who everyone was like, oh, he's not natural. Oh. Even after they did like blood work, like Olympic style, just random drugged him. Like, and then he hopped on the source, and then look what he did. He's now arguably the best 212 bodybuilder. And I mean, he's still in his early 20s. By the time he's 30, he could be one of the greatest like 212 bodybuilders of all time. You know.
So this is the thing as well when you think like genetic potential. When people like say, "I want to reach that before I transition into looking at other stuff," it depends like where you put what certain things about bodybuilding you value more. It's like I always used to say that I would do that, but I know, but I have the goals that I have in mind aren't really attainable for me personally without assistance. So there will come a point where I'm going to have to look at my physique and say, this is good enough for me before saying, okay, fuck it, let's go and pursue another goal. And I don't know if that's because I've still not competed yet. Both of you have competed. Jermaine placed 4th in a very good high standard show. You've got great success at a young age as well when it comes to competitions. So the perspective's going to be different for all three of us. But yeah, I think, when just for anyone listening, just get to a point where you couldn't have given any more. And then the choices that follow that, just make sure they're in line with the goals that you want to achieve, really. So,
for sure, I think as well. Like I've maintained this for the past 2 years in terms of my opinion, and it hasn't changed. That unless I feel accomplished in what I'm trying to do at present, I have no business looking elsewhere. And that could go for many things, but especially in bodybuilding, like I've not won a show yet. I've 2 not qualified for a British final yet. I've come very close at a young age.
Should have got it.
And the nudge and like the judges let me know. They were like, you're just too young. So I've got no business doing anything else yet when I'm still trying to accomplish a goal that I had 2.5, 3 years ago. So
that's the same boat that I'm in though, isn't it? Because my competitive journey has just been delayed by 2 years due to health reasons and stuff. So it's just one of them.
Absolutely. Yeah. What's your actual like goal then, Joe? Is it just to be? Is it to gain 20 pounds and not lose it, or is it to gain?
It would be nice. Yeah, it's mental when I try and explain to people like for people that there might be a new audience coming along with James and stuff like that. So I can rebound after having a flare up, and so my average body like sitting at weight is like 87, 90 kilos at 5'10", which is like 192 pound. In fairly good nick, Jermaine, you would say.
I would say.
So, and then I get sick, and then can go down to actually went down to the lowest I've ever been. Like this time, I went down from 187 at the end of my little cut thing that was stopped abruptly, down to 166, and in a space of 6 weeks, by the way. Yeah. So me coming back to the gym, don't get me wrong, my body weight's maintained itself again. I've put on some good mass that was just through food in whatever and rebounding from being shit and stuff. So I weighed this morning 183. So it would be nice to put on a good solid 202.
Okay.
But then, to me, in my head, if I have a flare up and lose 20 pounds, I'm still bigger than I was before.
I love yeah.
But I want to compete at the Midlands show next year. And I spoke to my missus about it on the weekend, and it will be whatever happens, happens. But if I commit to the show this year, I know I've been through a fuckload more in the past 24 months than a lot of people have. So just making it to stage will be a blessing.
Yeah.
And then if things do pan out the way I want them to, the following year, which will be my final year as a junior, because I'll still be 23 when finals comes around, I'd like to win the show.
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Good shit.
So, yeah.
What about you, James? Where's your like current heading at?
I want to see how far I can go naturally. I obviously one day want to be Olympia stage. I want to take it as far as I can go. But I want to see, like, I started this as a natural bodybuilder. I wanted to show people, young people especially, what they could actually do, what the potential was to do it naturally. Because a lot of in the industry, there's a lot of influencers claiming they're natural, and it's really not setting a good example for people. And I want to be that person where young people, like 15, 16, 17-year-olds, can look up to in a few years and go, yeah, that's actually attainable. That's realistically attainable. But also go, it's damn good. But I want to, short-term goal, I want to take this off season, get up to 210 pounds, 215, like put on some serious mass, and then go for state titles in Australia.
Fuck yeah.
What did you weigh on stage?
Last time it was 79.5-ish, I think.
Wow.
That's dehydrated.
That's pretty good, like, weight wise. I will say as well, we're no strangers to people who have like got a IFBB pro level physique naturally. Anyway, one of our guests, Bob, we've had on previously, who we've spoken to on numerous occasions, and he's competed recently as well, first time as a pro.
In classic, by the way.
In classic, and he placed in. He was in the second call out at his first pro show. Naturally, that's huge, especially considering how stacked like classic.
He was a defect pro previously, right?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Just pull him up. Yeah, pull him up. He won all the BNBF stuff that you can do. Turn pro, the BNBF affiliates or whatever it is. Won the Two Bros British, which is the IFBB recognised, for people that don't know, like the pro qualifier that gives you a pro card, recognised IFBB pro, eligible to compete with Mr. Olympia if you can win a pro show or place or whatever. And that's the sort of natural standard, and he's still natural.
Yeah.
So,
and the caliber has been progressing in natural bodybuilding to the point now where, as a natural, a lot of it looks like this are realistic almost, like to more people.
Pull up his off-season pics.
What, his older ones?
Yeah, man.
This is a guy who as well was not afraid to push up weight, and it made the difference.
That's not that. There you go.
There you go. There's a good one. So that was this is for his turning pro. So he started off his pro prep looking like this, and then got down to this, and ended up getting his pro card. So you could see, and we'll reiterate again for a lot of people who are watching and listening, like, natural physiques can be good enough to turn pro, absolutely, but as well, like, don't expect it to happen quickly.
Yeah,
wrong gear.
Bob's been competing since 2009.
Yeah,
so
this is like over 10 years worth of work, and
maybe with someone with similar genetics and assistance, it could maybe take 7. So realistically, there's not that big of a difference.
Absolutely, and if you've got a structure for it, Even better.
It does come down to that a lot of the time. If you've got a good enough structure and you can fill in the gaps in between, you know, there's professional bodybuilders out there that would die for Bob's fucking structure.
Yeah.
You know,
Who
naturally
are-
wider,
Yeah.
natural small waist, wide clavicles, good full arms, popping shoulders. I don't know how tall he is, but
I think he's not short, but
he's about 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah, he's like around that height.
Yeah. So, you know, and with some graft,
yeah,
what can be done is it's insane, really.
Yeah, and classic is absolutely a physique as well, where you can like, mass is not the end game. Like
No.
Like he won his pro card against people who were bigger than him.
Way bigger.
Way like 40 plus pounds bigger than him.
Yeah.
You know, so it's entirely possible.
And you can see he presents his physique well as well.
Yeah.
It's just like, I can't remember who said it, but it's what you don't show.
Yeah.
You know, when you're on stage, that wins you shows, which is great.
Absolutely.
But he's someone as well. One thing I did want to touch on before we go, I don't know how long we've been going, but I noticed on your page the other day, James, that you sort of go against the grain and sort of auto-regulate self, like with your training and things like that. Not a lot is planned and written down and logbook and all that. So yeah, just briefly go through like how a session would go down with you.
Yeah, no, I think I said something about it on the Q&A on my Instagram. A lot of people don't like me for this. I don't take it that seriously. I don't count the macros, calories. I don't. You guys can absolutely hate me. I barely do any cardio.
And my best friend is pretty much the same as you, so but he doesn't even compete, and that's what pisses me off. So,
but yeah, it's a bit weird. I go with what my body feels and tells me, and I learn it, and that's why each time I'll bring a better physique. I'll learn from my mistakes, and I'm obviously still young, so I'm learning a lot, and I'm not going to get it bang on this time. Probably not for years. I'll get it right, but I sort of I do it better when I'm not counting and I'm not on something. If I've got numbers to hit and stuff, like it's the same with the training program. If I've got, let's say you do a 3x8 set or whatever it is you're on bench, I prefer to do that extra rep if I've got it in me, and to stick with it and go, oh yeah, I could have got an extra rep, but I didn't.
Okay.
So I feel like there's different perspective on it, but I think push it. The only way you're going to grow muscle is if you put it under pressure and you really rip the muscle, and those extra reps will help. But again, I'm not against people counting their calories, counting the macros, and going really to the number, because it's whatever suits you best. But that's just the way I do it. In my sessions, I don't have a split. I do whatever's not sore. I just take it day by day. In the off season, that's fine. Like I can just be eating enough. Again, obviously I get enough protein in because it's essential. But yeah, it's a bit weird, and people.
I don't think it's weird, because I don't know what you were like, Jermaine, when you were like 17, 18, 19. It's pretty much what we did as well.
Bro, if you could see the shit I was eating at 16, Jesus Christ.
But I mean, like, we just looked at, and we knew that you get enough protein in, everything else is extra food, you're going to grow. You might get fatter than the next person, you might stay leaner than the next person, but at the end of the day, you're getting better and you're getting bigger, and it's fucking working. And so 5 years from now, you might have a completely different approach, James. You know, we don't know yet. But I've sort of reverted back to, well, training anyway is going to be less logbook based, more. I spoke to Matt Tofter about it the other day, and a bit more volume, and just taking it to failure on an exercise as many times as I feel that I can, rather than just programming in, okay, I need to get 8 reps on this. I feel like there's 9 in there, but I'm not going to get it, blah, 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 because I've got to save it for the next set and things like that. But yeah, I'm going off on a tangent again.
No, I agree. Like, this was me at 16, and this was entirely just auto-regulate what's up here in my first like 6 months of training, and anything that I followed was very loosely from bodybuilding.com. So at the end of the day, the same rules apply for everyone. Intensity is going to be the thing regardless. Like if you train hard and intense enough, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you will progress as long as you're consistent. So I can understand that idea. So I can get behind you on that.
It's about enjoyment as well, isn't it? So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like this guy probably didn't build this physique by doing what everyone else was doing either. So
yeah,
I mean, this is a guy who's benching 5 plates or something. So
yeah.
All right.
Do we have any final questions or final thoughts to end the podcast on? We'll get you on again in a little while as well, and shoot the shit and stuff. But
I might try and get you on with Lewis at some point. That could be fun.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Nothing from me. I've enjoyed this.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Yeah, thank you for coming on. It's been awesome now that shows are back on, just to see all the people who are coming along. Like this was me 2 years ago, coming into the scene, like seeing all these, like just being introduced to what we have here. So like we're now in a position where 2 years down the line, me and Joe can now have a platform where we can have people like yourself on, which is super cool.
Well, I didn't really follow natty bodybuilding 2 years ago until like I came into the posing studio and sort of pretended I was a guru that knew what I was talking about, and said to you like, "Oh, try hitting it this way." But yeah, you competing was sort of a segue into me finding a passion that I had for natural bodybuilding as well. Not because I didn't respect it or anything like that. I just wasn't exposed to it to the point I was with say open bodybuilding and things like that. But yeah, the fact that I was introduced to a numerous amount of people that have become really good acquaintances or really good close friends, and now 2 years down the line, we have somewhat of a platform that can, reach out to people that are where we were or where you were 2 years ago. It actually makes me quite emotional because it's really good.
Oh, grow up.
I know, mate. What's all this? I think I'm having an estrogen rebound.
Cringe.
No, but genuinely, it just makes me proud to say,
for sure.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, very interesting. It's very cool, like being in this, and like I'm sure James will probably have this experience like 2 years down the line or 3 years down the line where he encounters like a younger person and goes, "Oh shit, that was me at one point." It's cool, man. It's very cool. Yeah, James, thank you for coming on, man. It's been a pleasure. It's been great watching you this past season and getting to know you also. Do you want to shout out your socials, anything that you're doing, any people, whatever? Go for it.
Obviously, go follow the Instagram, _Hume. I do need to change that name. I'm trying to get my TikTok out there. I'm trying my best to push my socials. So that's mini C-Bump 69.
Nice.
What a name.
So, I'm looking forward to the off season. Keep an eye out. I'll be getting nice and fluffy, and hopefully get to that 210 mark. But yeah, thank you so much for having me, and it's been a real pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a good one, man. Viewers and listeners, thank you for listening / watching the Off the Script podcast. If you have any questions or anything, shoot them at us online. If you want to tag us and stuff. If you want to talk about anything Stage Talk related, also just shoot us messages. What's your top 5 lineup? And we'll be back again with episode 53.
Yeah, man.
53. Very shortly. Do we have a guest in mind, Joe, that we want to tease now?
We've got a few, but no teasers yet.
No teasers? All right, then. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you later.
Take care.